So today, got something special. We got an unseen interrogation that just came out. This nigga Michael Jackson. Look like we got an interrogation from whenever. Bro got caught up. He got caught up with them sex charges with them kids. I'm sure everybody know the situation. He had the kids staying at his estate. Whatever that shit was called. It was hitting nigga. That bitch was like a Disneyland. They said that shit. But I don't know. We finna see what this shit talking about. See what my nigga got to say about itself. Let's get right to it, baby. Bro, laughing. What you
Today,
laughing for?
We're going to take a brief look at the 1996 interrogation of Michael Jackson regarding the child molestation accusations that sent ripples of shock across the world. Michael Jackson, hailed as the king of pop and known internationally for his chart-topping hits and invention of the moonwalk, became known for something much more sordid in the mid-90s. The troubled star began to face rumors and accusations of molesting young boys, which he always strongly denied.
She can't stop her from making it. There's nothing you can do.
What's funny? I don't understand. Who laughs in an interrogation when you getting interrogated for child molestation charges? Like, what's up with that?
Settle it down. First problem is it might put you to sleep.
You know, a minute in and don't even bust out laughing.
Mr. Jackson, in the latter portion of 1993, there were some allegations leveled at you concerning improper conduct with some young boys. I assume you're familiar with the fact that those allegations were raised. Is that right?
Yes.
In fact, there was ultimately at least two grand jury inquiries into that I am currently aware of, although counsel tells me there may have been a third. Were you aware that grand jury investigations were conducted into those allegations?
Yes.
When, strike that, did you know at the time that the grand jury was investigating these matters that they were in fact investigating? In other words, you didn't find out after it had completed. You knew in advance that people were being subpoenaed to testify.
In advance?
Yeah, poorly phrased. Let me rephrase it. It is my understanding that some of Neverland Valley Ranch employees were subpoenaed to testify before the grand jury. Do you know that to be the case as well?
Yes.
Are you familiar with a person named Jordy Chandler?
We're not going there. Don't answer. We're not going to...
So he got his lawyer in here with him. If you didn't hear him, he said, "Don't answer." That's his lawyer sitting there with
into
him.
who he knows and doesn't know.
Jackson is nervous, his body language stiff, and his giggling is tight and forced. He keeps his answers short, never volunteering more than what is asked. His lawyer is quick to step in and put a stop to questions that don't directly pertain to the case.
If you want to ask a question, go ahead and ask it, but I believe it's beyond the scope of discoverable matters in the case.
Whether he knows of Jordy Chandler?
Right.
You're not going to allow me to ask him any questions about Jordan Chandler in any fashion?
We'll take them one by one, but
I can't ask him whether he knows him. I suppose that would sort of preclude other ones, don't you think?
yeah, probably would.
And may I ask, for the record, what the basis upon which you are going to refuse to allow this witness to disclose whether he knows Mr. Jordan Chandler? As you know, counsel, during the course of discovery in this case, you have already gone into, and I think Mr. Sanger has already gone into at some depth, a deposition that was taken in the case of Jordy Chandler versus Michael Jackson, given by Adrian McManus. There are issues that are certainly relevant to my interest as to why you inquired as to those depositions that Adrian gave. And you're now telling me I can't even ask whether he knows the man or go into any such areas?
Yeah, let me
Isn't there
cover
a
it.
quote that
Somebody
comes to
staring at
mind
him.
what's good
For a long time, it's just like eerie. I ain't gonna lie. He's like, after all that surgery he did to his face, he's just like, fuck it.
the
Eerie
goose is
looking
good
at
for
him
the
after a
gander?
while. Cheekbones so damn strong.
What,
In South's favor.
Wisely, Jackson lets his lawyers handle things. He doesn't appear too worried, and he really doesn't need to be. He's able to afford someone competent. And unless some very incriminating evidence is uncovered, it is unlikely that he will be forced to give any damaging answers.
Let me just make sure my understanding is clear. Is it your position that you will instruct Mr. Jackson not to answer any
Now you hide
questions
his face.
that pertain to the issue of Jordy Chandler in any way, whether it be claims leveled by Jordy Chandler?
Bro, look at that fake ass yawn this nigga just did. Oh my gosh.
If any, or discovery
this
in the
nigga.
Jordy Chandler case vis-a-vis Adrian McManus's deposition, allegations that she testified falsely. Any of that
Calm
you're not
down.
going to let him go into?
That's right. I believe that's correct. With respect to the motivations that are, in your view, germane to the allegations made in the complaint, my client has testified that he knows nothing about those matters that you want to explore his motivations on. So therefore, there's a lack of foundation. But let's just go do what you want to do.
You've raised something that sort of catches me by surprise. You say your client has testified that he knows nothing about these matters. Is this at today's deposition you're referring to, or some other deposition that I was not present at?
Today.
That is strange, since I have not asked about that issue until just now. I have not asked about the allegations specifically. I have asked about investigation. Were you aware that Jordan Chandler or his family on his behalf filed a lawsuit against you?
Yes.
Were you aware that at some point in time in that lawsuit, Adrian McManus gave her deposition?
I'm not positive.
Your answer confuses me. How do you mean you're not positive? You don't know whether she gave her deposition or not?
Exactly.
So then, if I understand it correctly, you are not going to allow me to go into any areas in connection with Brett Barnes. Is that right?
Well, you can ask. There's nothing I can think of, but I'm not going to categorically say you can't ask anything about him, but I don't think there's anything relevant. So irrelevant that I'm not inclined to let you get into it unless there's an area that you believe is directly tied to the case.
Well, I believe it, but I have a feeling that my believing it's not going to convince you of much. To your knowledge, Mr. Jackson, were you ever accused of having sexually molested Brett Barnes?
Won't answer that.
The detective is effectively throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what will stick. Most people would be flustered and answer impulsively. In fact, Jackson would probably say something if he was alone, but the lawyer is knocking the questions out of the air before they have a chance to land. So far, Jackson has spoken more on the matter with journalists than he has with the police.
Do you know a person by the name of Macaulay Culkin?
Yes.
Macaulay Culkin.
Get your answer.
It's Mr. Home Alone.
So you're going to let him answer questions about Macaulay Culkin?
Let him answer that one.
which Macaulay came out and said that he loved Michael Jackson and Michael Jackson did nothing to him. And I think I can't remember if he's like his parents was suing them, something. I can't remember, but Macaulay, I think he liked Michael Jackson. He was like a huge fan. They hung out all the time, so per se. And he even says today that Michael Jackson never did anything to him. But me personally, shit, I think that nigga was doing some weird shit. I ain't gonna lie.
To your knowledge, were
I ain't
you
gonna
ever
lie.
accused of having sexually molested Macaulay?
That's an instruction not to answer on that one.
That nigga sitting there looking like the white Undertaker. That nigga look evil. I ain't gonna lie. He looks evil.
Okay, Andy. This
That
is
is
as good a
funny,
copy
though.
of the document as I
I don't understand what's funny.
have available to me at this time. Let me ask you this. Do you recognize the handwriting on these two sheets?
Yes,
Do you know whose handwriting it is?
it's mine.
Do you know what these documents are?
Yeah.
What is this?
Crazy stories that people have created. Things I wanted to set straight in an interview.
Do you know with whom this interview was?
I think it could have been Diane Sawyer, whatever the interview was that I wanted to do. I wanted to set the record straight, that if people hear a lie long enough, people believe it, that people have lied on me. I'm a black American and I'm proud of it,
No, you're not.
and I'm honored.
Don't let him lie to y'all. He lying. Bro is not proud of it because he wouldn't have bleached his skin white. He ain't proud of that shit. He ain't want to be black. His dad beat the black out of him when he was a kid. That's why he wanted to
Of
be
it.
white.
The
That
bleach
nigga see
skin
more
rumor,
love from
which is
them
a
white
rumor,
people
I don't
than he ever
bleach my
did from his own
skin.
family.
They once said I wanted
So
a
don't let
white
this
kid
nigga
to
lie
play
to
me
y'all.
as a child, which was a rumor.
My nigga's pale as a motherfucker.
Inauguration rumor saying I didn't want to do President Clinton's inauguration. I'm not gay. This says
Ain't no grown man that like pussy talk at no fucking harmonic voice 24/7. That's female shit, bro.
don't judge a
And then talking at a harmonic voice 24/7 as a male lowers your testosterone. You know what I'm saying? So
person unless you have
realistic, man.
spoken to them one-on-one, which is true. Because what you hear is a lie, untrue. I can't make out this part there.
It is illegible in portions, that's true.
And Jesus said to love the children and be like children, be youthful and be innocent and be pure and honorable. He was talking to his apostles, and they were fighting over who's the greatest among themselves. And he said, whoever humbled yourself like this child is the greatest among me. And he always surrounded himself with children. And that's how I was raised, to believe and to be like that and to imitate that. So I don't know what you're trying to make out of it. I made a list of things. When I get angry enough, I write down what I want to say and what I want to talk about to set the record straight. Because you get to a point where you get tired of people lying. I get tired of situations like this, where people completely lie on me, and I'm sick of it.
The video operator, we're off the record.
If you ain't just
Once he
17,
starts
nigga,
speaking, Jackson becomes completely
Look how
serious.
big his eyes
He is
is.
frustrated and visibly weary from all the public speculation and wants to deny
You
the
look like a
many
female.
rumors that have been spread about him, even though he must know that in the end, it will not matter.
Damn female, bro, for real.
Jackson was eventually acquitted of these crimes in 2005, but the court of public opinion was split. Surely someone with multiple accusers had to be guilty. The abused can often become abusers, and many speculated that that was the case here. Others were not so sure. Jackson clearly had a troubled childhood, abused by his father, and forcibly chemically castrated against his will at 13. It was inevitable that he would develop some psychological problems. Jackson had never had a true childhood, something for which he longed. He had a Peter Pan-like quality of never wanting to grow up, and felt most comfortable surrounding himself with boys close to the age he most likely felt himself to be emotionally.
That shit weird.
His
Lil,
death
I ain't
has
gonna
ended
lie.
any
It don't matter.
possibility
That
of a
shit's still
definitive
weird.
answer, and his legacy, as he probably suspected, will forever be tainted.
Yeah, nigga's still weird, man. I don't know. If you ask me, bro don't get a pass in my book. That nigga was a weirdo, man. He was cold as fuck with the music, but bro was a fucking weirdo. Like, I don't know what else to say. Bro was a weirdo, but shit. Till next time, I'm fuck with y'all boys. You already know. Hit that subscribe, hit that like button. Comment. You already know what it is. I'll fuck with y'all boys next time.